Hey TubeViewers, TJ Pyramid here, back with a double movie review, and that is of Hatchet 2 and Hatchet 3. Let's go ahead and start with Hatchet 2. I love the first Hatchet, adore the first Hatchet, and when I saw this one, I don't know, you ever like maybe watch a movie at some point and for some reason you don't like it, but maybe it wasn't the movie, maybe it was you were just having a bad day, or it just wasn't the kind of movie you were in the mood for. When I watched this the first time, I really wasn't a big fan of it. But I gotta say, the second time through watching it, yeah, I am now a fan of Hatchet 2. Of course, this continues right where part 1 left off. You have the Danielle Harris character hunting down Victor, basically wanting to take him out. And go back and retrieve her dad and brother that died. And of course, things go all to hell. Some really awesome gory deaths in this one. Brilliant. Kane Hodder is, of course, Victor Crowley. If you don't know Kane Hodder, then you may as well just turn this video off now and, I don't know, go do something else. But yeah. So I like this a lot. And after it was over, I figured, well, being this is a continuation of this and this and that, so I figured I'd go ahead and watch this one right behind it. This one I had never seen. I hadn't heard a lot of great things about Part 3. Kane Hodder is back. Danielle Harris is back. Also really cool, too, you have Zach Galligan from Gremlins in this, and of course, Caroline Williams, Stretch from TCM2. And of course, for me, being a fan of the movie The FP, you have Jason Trost in this as like a sheriff's deputy, the guy with the eye patch. So really cool to see him. And both these movies have other special appearances by different people like Lloyd Kaufman, and yeah. One of the guys from the first Hatchet shows up in Hatchet 3. Sid Haig. Um, yeah, and a bunch of other people. I'm going blank, of course. I had a full list of names when I started the video, and of course I go blank. But that's to be expected. But yeah, Hatchet 3, definitely not as good as Hatchet 1 or Hatchet 2. The kills in this are actually kind of weak. I'd say there's more of a body count in this film, but they're not as cool, not as well thought out, I think, as in Part 1 and Part 2. You get a lot of arm ripping and stuff like that. It's the Victor Crowley character is still really fun to see, and it's cool to see. Of course, Cody Blue Snyder's in this too, the son of Dee Snider, the lead singer of Twisted Sister, which, of course, in Part 2, Danielle Harris was wearing the Twisted Sister shirt, so that was fun to see him because he's a funny guy. So yeah, definitely not as original as Part 1 or Part 2, but still a fun film, a good splatter film, some good gore, lots of blood squirting, and of course Danielle Harris, always fun. Very curious to see if they're going to do a Part 4 with just kind of character. Really, he's like a Jason and a Michael Myers and stuff. You can't really ever really kill him off, so I'm sure he'll be back in some form. And it's cool because you get the guy that played the new Jason in this going up against Kane Hodder's Victor Crowley, which is kind of fun because, well, they're both Jason at one point. So yeah, both of these are Dark Sky Films releasing. They both have 2 commentaries on this one, 2 commentaries on this one. Hatchet 2 has like a almost 40-minute making of, and some other behind the screens things, Meet the FX Team, TV spots, radio spots. Hatchet 3, of course, like I just said, has a double commentary, a couple different featurettes, and a teaser and trailer. They're both relatively short, 86 and 81 minutes, but both really fun films. Of course, with a Part 3, I hoped for a lot more, like the deaths would be even more over the top than they were in Part 1 and Part 2. So yeah, but I still highly recommend them both. I'm glad that I had mentioned I hadn't liked this before, and I had a couple people say, hey, go pick it back up, it's one of my favorite slashers, blah blah blah, and I'm glad I did, because otherwise I probably would not have revisited this. So now I just need to grab Hatchet 1 on Blu-ray. Had it on DVD for a long time, kind of got rid of it or lost it, or it got lost in the shuffle somewhere, so I hope to get that on Blu-ray to complete the Blu-ray trilogy here. But yeah, check out really all 3 films, because really they're like one long film, kind of like a Lord of the Rings or a Record 1, 2, and of course number 4 coming out. So yeah, check out Hatchet 2 and Hatchet 3. Comment down below, subscribe, spread the word. Cheers. Go get your gore on.